American airports are surprising the rest of the world with their new ideas and strong will. Rubber growth is a problem, and American airports are leading the fight against it. Find out how airports are using new methods, cutting-edge technologies, and hard work to win the war against rubber deposits. From high-pressure water blasting to robots, they are doing everything they can to make sure that runway operations are safe and run smoothly. Come with us as we explore the interesting world of removing rubber. Rubber removal on airport runways includes using a variety of techniques to get rid of rubber deposits and keep the runway in good shape. High-pressure water blasting is a method that is often used. High-pressure water jets are shot onto the runway surface with the help of special tools. The force of the water moves the pieces of rubber around, which breaks them up and washes them away. High-pressure water blasting is an effective way that is also good for the environment because it rarely needs to use harsh chemicals. Mechanical sweeping, which uses machines with spinning brushes, is another way to clean up. These machines manually scrub the surface of the runway, which gets rid of rubber deposits. The brushes move the rubber bits around so that they can be swept away, leaving a surface that is clean and free of debris. Mechanical cleaning is a popular method because it works well and can cover a lot of ground quickly. In some cases, airports may use cleaning chemicals that are made for that purpose. These agents are made to break up rubber bits and make it easier to get them off the surface of the runway. Care is taken to choose cleaning products that are safe for the environment and break down quickly so that they don't hurt the nature around them too much. To get rid of rubber, people also use cars that are made just for that purpose. These trucks have special attachments and use both mechanical scrubbing and high-pressure water blasting. Rubber bits are moved around by the scrubbing action, and the high-pressure water helps to flush them away. Rubber removal vehicles are made to move quickly over big areas, which makes them useful for airports with a lot of rubber buildup. Airports may use chemicals that are made to dissolve rubber deposits well and are designed especially for this purpose. These chemicals are put on the damaged areas and left there for a certain amount of time to soak into the rubber. Once the rubber has softened, it is easier to get rid of it by scrubbing it with a tool or hitting it with high-pressure water. Rubber removal agents can make cleaning easier, especially in places where the rubber buildup is hard to get rid of or thick. Airports may use mechanical blasting to get rid of rubber in some cases. For abrasive blasting, rough materials like crushed walnut shells or dry ice are shot at high speed at the rubber layers. When the abrasives hit the rubber, they break it up and push it away from the surface of the runway. This method works best when there is a lot of rubber on the floor or when other ways of cleaning might not get the job done. But the possible effects of abrasive blasting on the surface of the runway and the surroundings around it are carefully thought through. Airports may also use new technologies such as robotic or automatic systems for getting rid of rubber. To find and get rid of rubber deposits, these high-tech systems use robotic arms or automated cars with special tools. These technologies give precise control and can quickly cover big areas. Also, they often have sensors and cameras that check the state of the runway surface while the rubber is being removed. This makes sure that the surface is cleaned well while minimizing the risk of damage. It's important to remember that the right way to get rid of rubber depends on a number of things, such as how bad and where the rubber buildup is, the type of runway surface, environmental concerns, and practical needs. Each method has its own pros and cons, and airports carefully look at all of these to find the best way to do things. Airports also have full maintenance plans for their runways, which include regular inspections, cleaning on a set timeline, and removing rubber. By following these programs, airports can deal with rubber buildup ahead of time and stop it from getting worse over time. Regular checks help find places where there are a lot of rubber deposits so they can be cleaned up quickly and the runway stays safe. In addition to these methods, ongoing studies and improvements in technology have led to new ways to remove rubber. For example, laser cleaning systems use lasers to remove rubber bits from the surface of the runway without hurting it. These cutting-edge technologies could make things more efficient, more accurate, and less harmful to the environment. The best way to get rid of rubber varies on a number of things, such as how much rubber has built up, the type of runway surface, environmental concerns, and the needs of the airport. Airports work closely with maintenance and cleaning teams to figure out the best ways to get rid of rubber that is also good for the earth. By using these methods and putting in place regular rubber removal programs, airports can make sure runways run safely and efficiently, increase friction on the runway, and reduce the negative effects of rubber buildup on airplane performance and safety. Keeping up with rubber removal and upkeep practices help make airport infrastructure safer and last longer as a whole. Rubber builds up on airport runways because rubber bits from airplane tires slowly settle on the surface of the runway. This is caused by a number of things. Tire friction, which happens when an airplane lands or takes off, is the main reason. When the tires touch down on the track during landing, there is a lot of friction, which creates heat and wears away the rubber on the tires. The worn-out pieces of rubber then land on the runway, which causes the increase over time. Rubber growth can also be caused by the weight of the plane. Heavy planes put more pressure on the tires, which causes more rubber to wear away and build up. The way the tires are made also affects how much rubber builds up. Some tire materials and designs cause them to wear out faster, leaving more rubber on the track. The number of times an airplane moves is another important factor. More landings and takeoffs happen at airports with a lot of traffic, which causes more rubber to build up on the runway surface over time. The weather also plays a role, especially in places where it is hot. When heat from running the plane and warm outside weather come together, they can speed up the rate of rubber wear and buildup. Rubber buildup can also be affected by the type of surface material used for walkways. Some surfaces, like spongy asphalt or concrete, may be more likely to get rubber on them because of how they are made or how they feel. The shape and layout of the runway can also affect how much rubber builds up. The movement of rubber from tires to the runway surface can be affected by things like the slope, the angle of the bank, and whether or not the surface has grooves or other irregularities. Rubber builds up on airport runways because of things like tire friction, aircraft weight, tire makeup, a lot of traffic, weather, surface materials, runway design, how aircraft operate, and how runways are maintained. During landings, the friction between the tires makes heat, which wears off pieces of rubber that fall to the runway surface. More pressure is put on the tires of heavier planes, which leads to more rubber wear and deposition. The amount of rubber growth is also affected by how the tires are made. When more planes stop and take off at airports with a lot of traffic, more rubber is left behind. The weather, especially heat, speeds up the wearing down and breaking down of rubber. How much rubber builds up on a runway can depend on the material and shape of the surface. Some airplane activities, like hard braking, cause more rubber to get on the runway. Cleaning and upkeep of runways that aren't done well or often enough can also cause the rubber to build up. Mixing dust and brake pad bits with rubber can make buildup worse and change how well the runway grips. Rubber needs to be taken care of and cleaned up on a regular basis so that it doesn't build up too much over time. Rubber growth can be caused by the way an airplane is flown. Heavy stops or hard landings can cause more rubber to be transferred to the surface of the runway, which speeds up the rate of buildup. Rubber residues can stay on runways and build up over time if they aren't cleaned regularly or if the way they are cleaned isn't effective. Airports use different methods to deal with these reasons for rubber buildup. They do regular checks to see how the tracks are doing and find early signs of rubber buildup. To get rid of rubber deposits on the runway surface, effective cleaning methods like high-pressure water blasting, mechanical sweeping, and the use of cleaning products that are safe for the environment are used. Airports and tire makers are working together to make tires with better materials and designs that wear and deposit rubber less. To keep airport operations safe and smooth, it's important to know why rubber builds up and do something about it. By taking preventative steps, airports can reduce the effects of rubber growth and keep runways in good shape. In the aviation industry, ongoing research and cooperation continue to lead to improvements in tire technology, cleaning methods, and maintenance practices. These improvements lead to safer landings, better runway friction, and more sustainable aviation industry as a whole. That's it. If you liked this video, you should follow us to see more of it.